Hey everyone, hope you're all doing amazing. My name's Pratush Saka, and today I'm going to go through the problem definition of New South Wales bus stops. So, the problem space I decided to choose was the New South Wales bus stop network, since I use it pretty much 5 times a week, and there's heaps of positives and negatives that I encounter on a daily basis. The most common bus stops I observed whilst traveling through Western Sydney, the Northwest, and the CBD were the ones that you can see right here. But in recent times, I've realized that this big variety of bus stops has been just reduced to a simple sign because of the new street furniture upgrade program being done by the New South Wales government. So on the far left, we've got the panel with information, which was pretty abundant in the CBD back in the day, but they don't really have them as much anymore. We've also got the shelter, which is still pretty common to see. We have the sign with bench, the sign, and then the solar powered real time updating sign, which I would say is the most beneficial since it updates every minute or so to give you an idea of how far your bus is. Now, moving on to some user research. These are some cultural probes I developed. The first one is song suggestions, where I ask the users to screenshot songs they listen to usually at the bus stop and then send me the screenshot. For the second one, I've got pick up what you don't like, which is take pics of what you don't like at a bus stop. The third probe is called scratch and sniff, where the user is asked to smell a swatch provided to see which fragrance they prefer. And for the final probe, we've got battery coloring, which is asking the user to color in an image of a battery provided to reflect however much battery their phone currently has. So now we'll move on to the results. These are the results that I received from four of the users that I asked. We've got Adele, J. Cole, some Spanish music, and Joji. So I actually asked users if they found it annoying to hear music whilst on the street, like people with speakers, street performers, or elevator music. And 3 out of 4 of them said that street music was enjoyable and it often lifted their mood. Some people elaborated to say that it made them feel safer at night. After some more research, I discovered that people were more inclined to enjoy classic songs that are known worldwide, like Three Little Birds by Bob Marley and Happy by Pharrell. This familiarity with commonly known songs usually induces a feeling of nostalgia and comfort, which makes the user feel more safe in a unknown environment. Now, for the second results, we've got pictures that the user sent me. So for the first image, we have a rubbish, we have wet seats, we have like a busyness, like a crowd, and then we have people smoking. Moving on to probe number three, which was scratch and sniff. These are the three pieces of watercolor paper that were sprayed with different fragrances, and then I tallied down whichever smell the users preferred, and the winner out of all of them was Ocean Breeze. I can't say I was surprised because smells are often associated with memories, and refreshing smells can create a comfortable atmosphere that people are inspired by. I mean, you could say if it smells good, then people are happy. All right, now onto the fourth probing results for battery coloring. I got people to color in the batteries, and you can see the results over here. And then through the analysis, I discovered that people who I surveyed in the afternoon had a lower battery percentage than people that I surveyed in the morning. And the reason is because they spend the day traveling and then on their way home in the afternoon. So their battery goes down. Yeah, okay. So now here's some empathy mapping. So for says we've got ideas like, do you know if the 601 went by? Did I miss the bus? Why is it taking so long? Where's the bus? For thinks we've got, am I going to be late for work? Or I should have just taken the car. Why is it so busy? And then for does, we've got people hold out their hands to stop the bus. They overhear conversations, get out their Opal cards. This is a personal favorite, yelling at the bus driver when they leave as you are like running to the bus stop. And then for feelings, we've got feeling unsafe, excited, annoyed, anxious, thirsty, overwhelmed, energetic, or tired. Now I'm going to move on to some personas. So for the first persona, we've got Mike. He's a first year university student who has classes on campus 3 times a week, so he catches the bus frequently. For the first scenario, we've got Mike walking to the bus stop. It's empty, but the seats are wet. It's fine. He's going to stand. And then he's bored, so he's checking Instagram. Wait a minute. Oh my god, how'd he miss the bus? It was right there just because he was looking at his phone. And now because he's waiting, there's so many people waiting at the bus stop, and since he's an introvert, he gets nervous around crowds. There we go for the user journey. It's basically what I said at the start. It's pretty neutral. he can't sit, but that's fine. He'll stand. That's all right with him. He's young. And then he felt comfortable standing at the bus stop because, oh, it's empty. So, he's an introvert. He's enjoying his solitude. And then after scrolling through his phone, he realizes the bus left, which is where he starts feeling pretty bad. And then that continues on when he realizes he has to wait 20 minutes for the next bus. And then it gets topped off by more people arriving at the bus stop, which makes him uncomfortable. Moving on to the second persona. So this is June, and she's a sales assistant at Myers who works 4 days a week and has to travel frequently for that reason. So for her user journey, she made it to the bus stop just as it started raining, and then she was excited, like, "Oh, thank God this bus stop has a shelter." Then while she's bored, she calls her mom, and then this random dude comes and sits at the shelter with her, and then he lights a cigarette, and then she says, "Oh my God, that smells so bad." So as a result, she just moves seats and then feels better after. So for the user journey, at the start, she's feeling great since she just avoided the rain, and then she's feeling good as she calls her mom. And then the guy comes and starts smoking next to her, which makes her feel uncomfortable. So then she moves away, which she feels kind of neutral about it because she resolved the situation. So that's the end of that user's journey. And I can say that she was not she was somewhat happy with her overall experience at the bus stop because although the smoker made her feel uncomfortable, she moved away, and the priority was getting away from the weather. Moving on, we've got our final persona, which is Clint, and he takes a bus to and from work every day, Monday to Friday, and he works as an architect in the CBD. So, Clint's scenario is that he's there nice and early in the morning at the bus stop, double checks how far it is, and then someone else sticks their hand out when the bus is coming to stop the bus. And then, whilst that's happening, his bus is going past. He sticks his hand out, but then the bus still doesn't stop. Now he's mad because the bus left, and he's going to have to wait an hour for the next bus to arrive. So Clint's user journey at the start, he's happy because it's early, and then later on, he's neutral. He doesn't really care that the other guy is sticking his hand out. But then later on, he realizes that because of that, he missed his bus, which makes him unhappy, and now he's frustrated because he has to wait an hour for the bus to come. And the fact that he was there early but still managed to miss his bus made him even more upset. So he thinks that it's due to the poor bus bay design that he had to be late for work. So now let's go to some pain points that all of them experience. So we've got the weather, we've got timing, we've got lack of seats, we've got missing the bus, lack of bins, and then people smoking in the bus stop, which is a no smoking area. Now, to make some improvements to this, we can obviously add more shelters and then make the bus stop with the real time updating timetable more prevalent. We can also add more seats and more bins, as well as stricter laws around smoking. As well as these improvements, the government is already working on upgrading the bus stop network by adding 700 seats, 650 bins, and then multiplying existing toilets by two. But just by increasing the quantity of these resources isn't going to fix all the problems that we have. So I propose some ideas that could improve users' experience at a bus stop. So we've got wireless chargers, we've got flippable seats, so that we don't have to deal with wet seats in the morning due to morning dew. We've got real-time timetables, and we've also got app notifications, which I think could be really beneficial. Now, future possibilities, we've got, I was thinking of music at bus stops like I conducted in my probe study. We've also got air freshener just to make it like smell nicer, which is, I mean, it's pretty easy to do, I guess. Why not do it? And then we've got lights on signs, which is my biggest idea. I think that people could go to a real-time bus stop poll or whatever, and then click whichever bus they're waiting for, and then that would activate a light on top of the sign. The bus would see the sign and then realize, oh, there's someone waiting for me specifically. I will stop at this stop. Therefore, eliminating events like what happened to Clint before. Now, for the final problem space, I think New South Wales bus stops can be reimagined into places where people feel comfortable, changing their whole community experience. And that's all. Thank you so much for listening.